What's up, everybody? We are live. Give us 1 second. We're going to make sure that we're up on Instagram as well. Go live there. Go live there. Look how tech savvy we are.
We are so tech savvy.
Oh, wow. I see. So that's what we look like on Instagram. We got to get in close. I don't mind that at all. Okay, I see you there. All right, here we go. We're going to comment this little thing. Boom.
We are so excited to be here. Thank you, everyone, for joining.
Okay. Pin comment.
And wherever you guys are watching from, if it's YouTube, you can click the link in the description to order a signed copy. If you're watching from Instagram or Facebook, you can comment shop for the link to order. And if you are watching on TalkShopLive, then you can just hit the shop button.
Yes. And this is just so you know what we're dealing with. I wish I could share the screen with you. We have a ton of comments. They're coming in. They're flying in.
Hi.
Love it.
Everyone, I can't see.
We do want to get to those. We do want to answer some questions.
Can
if you guys
make
have
them bigger? Can you make it bigger? Remember, there's
an
option.
Old?
Yes.
Yes.
You're so far from the screen.
Yeah. Okay. Hold on. I'm going to make it bigger for my wife. Hey, that was not
extra large.
There we go. Okay, cool. All right. So we thought we would do something fun that we've never done. Jenny obviously has never released a book before. There's a lot of new things that we're going through as a family, and this is a lot of fun. So the book comes out March 17th. We've done a few or several podcasts already, different interviews. We wanted Talk Shop Live to be a little different. So I decided to write up some questions without Jenny knowing, and give you some questions that I don't think you've really mentioned, definitely not in this way, that kind of give the viewers an idea of who you are, why you wrote this book, what the book means to you, the kind of like the who, what, when, where, why, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Megan, thank you guys all for telling us that you ordered a copy. That's
beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah, honestly, us saying it now and saying it throughout this podcast and saying it throughout the career of Jenny's authorship and this book will never be as enough as we feel the genuine feeling inside. So let us say it now. We are so grateful for any support. And if I can speak personally, I am so grateful. Jenny, from the moment we met, has supported me as a musician, as a songwriter, as a producer, as a touring member of a band. When I've had to leave for months at a time, she has supported me since day one. And I have so much gratitude in my heart. I'm so grateful that you guys, who I know some of you are coming from the We the Kings fandom, are supporting her from that. And it means the absolute world to me. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you. And that doesn't even come close to meaning as much as I truly feel inside. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you very, very much to every single one of you who are commenting, that are watching.
Yeah,
thank
there's
you,
some
thank you,
questions
thank you.
I want to answer already.
We'll be able to get to the questions if you remember our thing.
Okay, we'll get to the questions, I promise. There's some really good ones.
I figured let's give like a quick like an elevator pitch of why we're here.
Hi, Danny.
What we're doing. Will you tell everybody like what's going on?
Yes.
So some people maybe just saw me post something or saw you post something like, oh, they're going live. We get to see them. I have no idea what I'm here for. So why don't you kind of clue everybody in?
I'm just so shocked that all these people are joining. I'm
Jenny's like a cat. She's just going to watch the chat the entire
No, I want to get
time.
to all the questions too.
We
yes.
will, I promise you.
I wrote a book called Are You Here? And there's so much to say about it, but the main inspiration was my mom. She passed away in 2018, and I was longing to feel connected to her. And one night she just sent me this most beautiful message in my sleep, and I wrote it down. Travis turned it into a beautiful song, and Are You Here was made with some really hard work, some beautiful visions, divinely guided by my mom and a higher power. I know that to be true.
Yeah. What do you mean? What do you mean you got this message? Like your mom passed in 2018 on St. Patrick's Day, which is why you chose the date March 17th for this beautiful book that is, dedicated to her in so many ways. But what do you mean? Like, she passed. What do you mean that she gave you this book idea?
Oh, David wants me to answer the questions. I want to answer the questions too. Should we try and just get the questions up so that we can see the questions there? Because I would love to go down and answer some.
I will. Let's
Okay.
stay focused, my love.
I think the whole point of Talk Shop Live is to answer everyone's questions that are here
There's
to see
literally 1,000 questions right now.
Well, so can we do the
we
just
can
the
do whatever you
questions?
want.
Thank you.
Here we go.
So the main I see some of the questions are like, what is the main message that you want to get across? And for me, the main message would be I want people to leave or to feel, after reading this book, hope, to feel uplifted, to feel inspired, because grief can a lot of the times leave us in our sadness. And I want this book to be of hope and not heartbreak. So when you read the book, I really want you to leave feeling that you are knowing in your heart that you know that whoever you're missing is still with you in everything and everywhere. And you can ask for a sign, you can talk to them, you can there's a thread that connects us that never leaves. And that is the message that I hope everybody receives when they read this book.
Sorry, I was doing some tech stuff behind the scenes. Yeah, I think the purpose of this show is to kind of, one, understand you as an author, to understand you as a person. I feel like, as somebody who's a fan of singers and songwriters and authors and filmmakers and directors, as you know, I like knowing about them as a person, because sometimes I can see themselves in their art. So
yeah, I would love to tell my story, like just a little bit about.
Yeah, for this. Yeah, will you give us just like a quick run through? Because I have a couple questions that I think are relevant. Yeah, I don't know if we can do quick, but that's what I was trying to lead into, is like, before we get to the specific questions that are asked by everybody here, I'm wondering if you can kind of just give everybody like just a brief synopsis of what we're doing here,
Rico.
and
Hi, Gabby.
and what people could expect. This is going to be like a 9-hour.
I just want to say hi to everybody. Aubrey.
Yes.
Okay. So as a kid, I was deathly afraid of death and dying. And I had a lot of fears as a kid, actually, that I carried with me throughout a lot of my life. And I just remember as a kid sitting in the darkness, crying, not knowing what there was after we died. And it didn't serve me in any way. And I know my parents were doing their best, trying to protect me from a topic that's rarely talked about, and that's also not a fun conversation to have. And so
I think it's also generationally, right, with our parents. Those of you in your 30s and those of you in your 20s and those of you in your teens, like, I think in 40s, 50s, everybody's going to have like a different story of the childhood that they had. But, I think your parents, if you were to ask them, why didn't we talk about death? Why didn't, as a child, why didn't I feel like I had an understanding of death? And in your parents, I strongly believe, would be like, well, we thought it was best that it was protecting you or keeping you safe from hurting your feelings or bringing darkness or, whatever. So, to your point, I really do think that our parents were doing the best that they knew how to do.
Yeah.
And we're doing the best that we can with our kids, and hope that they will do the best. So
yeah, with time though, there's evolution and there's growth. And I do feel like there's this consciousness rising, even though it might feel really dark right now, but I do feel like with time, we can only evolve and grow. And so, yes, our parents were doing the best that they could. And now I'm trying to do the best that I can with my children, because I don't want them to live in that fear that I lived in as a child. And that's why I wrote this book, so that families could have a tool to talk about death in an uplifting kind of way.
We talked about this before, where it's kind of like the difference between a funeral and a celebration of life. Like, this book is not meant to feel like you're sitting reading through, and it's so colorful and beautiful. I'm obviously biased because I'm your husband, but I'm your number one fan.
To get the screen a little
bit.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. There we go. What's up, Instagram? I'm obviously biased, but I think when I was reading it for the first time, when I heard it for the first time, I didn't think funeral, I really did feel like it was celebrating your mom. And I saw so much of her in this book, and I see so much of her in you and in our kids, and it's so beautiful. So that brought you to writing this book, and that feeling of being kind of scared of the dark and scared of death because
The
it was the
unknown.
unknown, brought you to write this book to help the little Jennies and the little Travises that are out there right now, possibly dealing with the same thing.
But also any age, to be honest with you. I didn't know I needed this healing, right? My mom passed away in 2018. And I've told people that most of my grief, the anger, the resentment, maybe the darker sides of the emotions were when she was still alive, because I knew that she was dying. I knew that Travis still had his mom, and that I was resentful towards him. And it was like all these different emotions that I was feeling. But when she took her last breath and I saw the smile come across her face, I had this weight lifted off my shoulders, and I was just crying, and I was thanking God for receiving her and her soul. And I could tell that just her physical body was it was just a shell, right? It wasn't her essence and her soul that was gone, because it was still, I could feel her so strongly all around us. And so what were we saying?
Well, so I did want to ask you something,
Oh.
and I was going to try to not interrupt, which I do often. I apologize.
This is not
This is
refreshing though.
Oh no, I know, because I stopped at the questions.
Oh,
Don't worry
okay.
about the chat. We'll get to the chat. I promise you.
Okay.
I would imagine that the majority of people who know us as individuals and know that we very strongly believe in God. We practice our faith daily. We're very spiritual. What about the people out there who aren't as confident in you, as you, who their loved ones have passed, but they might not believe, and that their souls are like.
I was just talking on a podcast today, actually, and I was telling her that my natural state is an optimist, is someone that sees, the glass half full, who's very spiritual and connected. And so it's very easy for me to grasp this concept. But I do believe that it's in everybody. Everybody has the capacity if they want it. And I think it begins with the belief, and begins with opening your heart, and begins with assessing your mind and your body and your heart. And if you do have those feelings of disbelief, maybe, just try it out as an experiment. Be like, okay,
Yeah, like how would
I'm
it feel?
missing somebody, or like,
Yeah.
maybe I'll say, hey, can you send me a rainbow? And you'll get a rainbow, and you'll probably be like, that's nothing,
That's
and
just
then
the spectrum of
your
color
logical
and-
brain
yeah.
kicks in. But then another rainbow comes, and you say, no. And then another rainbow, and maybe you're finally like, okay, like maybe you start having that belief. So
I think the word God trips people up, right? Who are not spiritual, who don't have faith. But
yeah, you don't
what
have
would
to
you
use
say
that
to the
word.
person that, we use God because we believe in God, but what about this person that, let's say this person that goes through life and they remember their parent with reindeer, not reindeer, but just deer. So every morning they would go on a walk and they see a deer every morning. And then their parent dies and passes, and they go on a walk and they don't see that deer. Right. And then the next day they get up, they go for a walk, they don't see that deer. And the third day, fourth day, fifth day, it's not until maybe weeks or months go by. And then all of a sudden, they wake up, they go for their morning walk that they used to do with their parent all the time. And they're one day out of nowhere. Maybe it's at a time where that person is really missing that, their mom or dad sees that deer. We choose to believe that that's like,
Well, it's a choice. Everybody has a choice, baby. Everybody has a choice. They can choose whatever choice they want. And for me, I'm choosing to believe, and to, and there are going to be people that don't resonate with this book, but I do, my prayer and my hope is that people will open their heart to it.
Right.
And make the choice on their own.
I think what I'm trying to say is, for the people out there who might not have that view, that optimism, I still think that there's so much value to be had in reading a book or presenting this book to families, because there is such a strong connection. At the very least, think about, like, when I see you, I see bits of your mom in your physical, look. I see your mom and your mannerisms, and it makes me think of your mom. And that's beautiful because you're able to keep your mom very much a part of, our lives. And that's beautiful. So I just wanted to get that out there, that, this book, although written by somebody that believes in God and written by somebody that's spiritual and written by somebody that has faith, um, it doesn't have to be just this book is for everybody. And I think you said it when I was, talking about the kids and what ages they were. Um, but I did want to ask, like, what age of your younger self do you feel that this book would have been pivotal in receiving? Like, do you
I think
recall?
any, honestly, like,
I
yeah,
know the answer is any age, but for you, for younger Jenny, like,
yeah.
when
That
was the moment
that
that
I
you
was
really
sitting in the
needed it?
dark and I was crying. The moment that I was sitting in the dark
Do
and
you remember how
crying.
old you were?
I was probably 6 or 7.
That's good. I don't really remember. Hey, stop.
But I
Sorry.
would love to. Can we get the questions back up?
Sure. If you could summarize the heart of this book in one sentence, what would it be?
It would be to have faith, hope, and believe in the love that is still with you and all around you after a loved one is no longer physically here.
That was really good. For not having a prepared answer, that was really good.
Thanks, babe.
What do you hope that this is from Gabby? The first
Hi,
question,
Gabby.
by the way.
Thank you, Gabby.
First question was from Aubrey. The second question
Hi,
from
Aubrey.
Gabby S. What's up, Gabby? What do you hope readers take away from the books?
I know there is
core
a
message?
there's a lot of questions that ask that, and so again, it's that you guys just feel hopeful and inspired, and not sit in the sadness that you might be sitting in when you first start reading the book, and that you're left with some magic, some spark inside of you, knowing that you're still with your loved ones, still with you and all around you.
Hillary J asked a really great question, and that's why I stopped on it. All these questions are great. There's no wrong questions. There's no
I'll take
right or wrong answers when it comes to a topic like this, which is, like we talk about it all the time. Like, we almost feel, doing this podcast, it's as if we know more about like how to cope with grief. We're all on this journey. I've heard you say it many times, where grief is not this linear thing that happens in a organized order. But Hillary asked the question, like, how do you define, quote unquote, being present? And do you think it looks different for different people?
For me, yes, the definition of being present is not thinking about the future and not thinking about the past. And that is something that I've really been working on recently. I'm really good at it sometimes, and then I'm really bad at it. And for me, I know I get present when I sit quietly and take some deep breaths and close my eyes and recenter myself and focus on my heart. And that's being present for me. And then my anxiety and my sadness, they kind of dissipate after that. So I do think it's different. I mean, it can be different for, different people, but I do feel like when everybody's centered on the heart, then that is when everyone can be super present.
I thought there was something that, and I think this works globally, that we heard that was really, really good, but it was talking about the past, the present, and the future. And anxiety comes from
thinking about the future.
And
depression
what was it?
Depression comes from the past.
Thinking about the past. And
being present is
like, that's like
gift.
your optimum
That's
state, right?
Yeah.
That's the gift.
Yeah.
Present.
Ivy says,
Nice.
Are there themes in the book that surprised you as they emerged during writing? Honestly, there wasn't a long writing process in this. The message came to me one night and I knew it was divinely guided, and I just wrote it down. And
this is actually like a funny, not funny, well, funny, but fun. That's the word I was looking for. This is a fun thing because Jenny, since we met and started sharing a bed together and a room together, she would hear me wake up in the middle of the night and just like mumble things into my phone. I would just take my phone. I would press the voice memo, and because I would have like this idea for a song, and it would either be a melody or a lyric, and I'd be like, Oh, no, no, it would just be this mumbling thing. Oftentimes I would wake up that following morning and listen to it. It would just be like it would be like unlistenable. So I would like to believe that I inspired you at some point to receive this beautiful message from your mom that was in a way so many different levels telling you that like to keep pushing forward and to keep on the path that you were on. It's like every time we look at the clock, it's like 2:22 or 4:44 or 5:05, like
I
11:11.
do think that anybody can um, access this within themselves, and I do believe in the early mornings is when we're most connected to the
Mm.
universe, to God, to whatever you want to call it. But sometimes you just wake up in the middle of the night, and maybe don't go back to sleep when you wake up. Maybe start writing in your journal, or closing your eyes and taking some deep breaths, and maybe you will get a message that you've been wanting to receive. But I do believe in those
Mm.
early morning times that artists and um, that's when we're most creative and connected.
Is grief something that only appears when you lose the life of somebody, or can
No,
it
grief is
yeah, can it
so many
show up
different
different
things.
ways?
Yeah, a friend moving away, you not getting to see them anymore, a loss of a career that you thought that was supposed to be yours. There's so many different ways of grieving. And yeah, Jesse says, how long did it take to write, and what was the most challenging part? Again, it was so divinely guided that it didn't take long to write at all, and there was no challenging part in it. Honestly, the most challenging part would be after it was written and illustrated, just
Mm.
figuring out the whole process of publishing the book, because I had never done it before, so that was the most challenging part. But that also was very guided and flowed the way that it was supposed to. So thank you for asking that, Jesse. And
This is
Harper,
Jenny's first book that she's ever put together. Um, it's probably hard for you to really like compare it and contrast it with anything.
I can't. Yeah.
I know that there's a lot of authors. Maybe there's some authors that are tuned in right now watching that are probably stuck at like a certain part of their story or their book, and they're trying to figure out, maybe they have the ending, maybe they have the beginning, but the middle is still this part. Um, were there any moments of this, not that are challenging, but that you felt needed to be done a different way or said differently?
I don't think so. Do you remember? I don't.
Well, I do remember when you woke up in the morning, you had showed me this beautiful, what I kind of took as a poem. And I wanted to surprise you by turning it into a song. So I went upstairs to the studio and I put it together and came down and showed you. And I've joked before, maybe some of you guys have heard the story. Like, I brought it down because I was so excited to show her this song, which I often do, even for We the King's music or other music I write. And I was so excited to show her this song, and she just started bawling, crying for like 4 or 5 days straight. And but I remember taking that, and when I was when I was putting it together, I remember wanting to get the words, like the lyrics that you wrote down, exact to, I almost felt that it would have been like irreverent to change this divinely guided, message that you felt was from your mom. So when I listen to the song and then read the actual book, there are a few things, there's some added things that came and were different. But I think was that just adding different specific signs that you felt were connected to you and your mom?
Yeah, I mean, every sign in the book is a personal sign that I've received, and for the children's book, I just wanted it to have a beautiful cadence, and so that's why it's
Mm.
adapted from the song and not exactly like the song. But in the book, there's so many Easter eggs that I would love to tell you about.
I wonder if we should tell that, like, I kind of want people to find out on their own. Like, and there are some easy ones. For example, there's a ladybug on every single illustration of the book, and some are very, very tiny. Some are very easy to find, and others are very hard. But there are honestly like maybe a dozen different Easter eggs throughout the book that I really want people to. Can I help you? That I really want. Oh, I got you, baby. That I really want people to find. I've got longer arms.
Harper says, who were your biggest influences, literary or otherwise? And there has been so many inspirations
before we get to that
for this book. Mm-hmm.
I just want to finish and close that the Easter eggs, I would love if when you guys get this book, which you can get right now, I think if you comment, what was the word, shop?
Yeah, you can click the shop button on TalkShopLive, or you can comment shop on Instagram and Facebook, and you'll get a link, or you can click the link in the description on YouTube.
That's how you do it. So if you do get the book, and we hope that you do, get a couple copies or as many as you want, and that you're able to give to people that are hurting right now. But what I was going to say is I almost want people to try to find which Easter eggs are there. There are so many Easter eggs, and probably some that would be near impossible for you guys to figure out. But I almost want there to be like a Reddit of people trying to like solve this, the Easter egg challenge, and Easter's coming up, so it'd be perfect. But sorry, go, Harper.
Yes, Harper, thank you. Yeah, the biggest influences I have probably a handful. Number one being my mom, and then number 2, 3, 4, and 5. There is Dr. Joe Dispenza. It was at his retreat where I connected to my mom. That was one of my intentions, and she came through in so many different beautiful ways. And when I got home, I received this message, and so Dr. Joe Dispenza was a big influence. And then Laura Lynn Jackson in her book Signs, she just released another one called Guided. And she has The Light Between Us, and she was a big inspiration. She was the one that I asked for a specific sign, and my mom just showed up crazy through this book, Maybe by Kobe Yamada, which was another big influence for the book. And as you can see, like his writing and the illustrations done by Gabrielle Baruch is just incredible. It's like a piece of art. And I knew for Are You Here, that's what I wanted, a piece of art that you could put up on your wall and look at it, and, not stuff it away in the cupboards or whatever, because, it's not really aesthetically pleasing,
or because you already read it.
Yeah. And so even the hardcover, I took a lot of time with a beautiful little bluebird gold right there on the front cover, and then gold on the side. And it was just, this is just such a work of art, and so much love poured into this that I hope you feel it when you guys receive it. And
we definitely should shout out Elizabetta, who is our illustrator or Jenny's illustrator for this book. She took so much time and care on every single illustration, every single page. And she, I hope that it's okay if I speak about her situation, but she lost her father, or not lost her father. Her father passed. She knows where he is, because we're hopeful and believers, but her dad passed. And so between her dad passing and Jenny's mom passing, they just had this beautiful connection. And I think it's hard for me to experience or to feel the way you feel. Like, I've grieved before, loss of friends or loss of pets. But I wonder, like, the experience that both you and Elizabetta had, and really everybody that's lost a parent or that parent has passed, you guys have this, like, this connective glue, where you can almost see somebody who's experienced their loved one passing, and like you're almost instantly connected because you're connected through that grief.
Of course, it's a lived experience that you guys have both been through. And so, yeah, I do believe that sharing our stories is really important. It creates connection and community. And I hope that, with this book, people start, talking more about it, because it's lonely living in your grief by yourself. But when you're in it, you kind of think you're the only one that's going through it. And so I think it's really important to be able to talk about it and share your feelings, because that's the only way we'll get through it, is to share our feelings and our emotions. And I don't want anybody to ever be stuck in their grief. It doesn't serve you. Our loved ones want us to be living our life fully and with joy and happiness. We only have one life, and I really believe from the other side, that's what they're saying.
What do you think
wanting to connect with us? But Rebecca, I feel like Rebecca says, how has writing this book changed the way you live your own life? And I saw that question. And that's really powerful because it has changed my life in many ways. First, just being the way that we speak to our kids about grief and death, and I want to raise them with this knowing that it's not scary. Don't be afraid. Like, we're connected to everything and everywhere, and I just really pray that that's what they feel. And so, as a parent, that's how it's changed my life drastically.
How do you feel like, or how do you think adults misunderstand, or maybe what misunderstanding do you think adults have when they see a child grieving?
What do you think? Sorry, what was the question?
Well, I'm wondering, like, what do you think adults can sometimes misunderstand about a child's grief? Because with children, obviously we have four kids, and sometimes it's easy for us to see one of our kids who is clearly sad about something, but pushing it down or saying, I'm okay. But they're not really okay. So, like, when it comes to something as powerful as grief, like, what are some, like, maybe things that adults have misunderstood about a kid's grief?
I don't know. I think the best thing we can do is just hold space for them and love them and be there for them and say, if you ever want to talk, I am here, and just start the conversations with them. Draw a picture, go out in nature, look at the beautiful birds and the owls and the rainbows, and try and help them through it the best that you can. But Grace, is there anything that you wish you had known before you started writing this book?
How to put out a book.
Yeah, how to actually publish a book and get it out into
How
the
to
world.
do it all.
That was crazy. But I'm so proud of myself. I have to say, there was one person that said, what was your favorite passage from the book? And
is it? Yeah, Colin asked.
Colin,
is there a
thank you for
passage
that
or
question.
section that feels most personal? It's tough because this book, I can see it. It's the entire thing is so personal to you. Even the illustrations, she was like doodling, and I think Jenny herself would even say that she's not a true artist in the way that, like, a painter but she's really good, and she was creating these, like, beautiful images that were just like scribbles, and to see it kind of like realized is really special.
I love this page because these two signs are very personal to me.
I'm gonna hold it up.
It says, an owl hoots up in a tree, the song you used to sing to me. I see a deer just lying still, then I start to get the chills. And for the owl hooting up in the tree, that was the sign for me in 2023 when I started writing this book. I asked my mom for a sign of an owl, and she delivered. That was when I received this book unexpectedly from a woman on a beach that I had never met before. She gave me the book Maybe. And in this book, Maybe, there's just owls everywhere. The little girl has a hat on that's an owl. And it's a story about the endless potential in all of us. And I just knew that my mom was reminding me that I had a gift that God had placed in my heart, and that I was supposed to share it with the world. And so that was the biggest sign of the owl for me. And then the deer was when she was passing, and she had a couple days left. There's 3 deer that showed up in her backyard, right in her bedroom where she could see out the backyard. 3 deer were just lying there still for 3 days before she passed. And then when she passed, we never saw them again. And I believe in my heart that it was her grandma, or her mom, her sister, and her best friend that had passed before her. And I got chills all over my body when I saw it, and when I think about it.
I still get chills thinking about it. It was like you don't normal, like, well, actually, we've never seen this, like 3 female deer just perched outside their window, and all the years that your parents have owned that house.
There's deer everywhere, but
there's
they
deer
never
everywhere.
Slept like right there in
ever. And then
in the backyard, right
the
by my
moment,
mom's window.
The moment she passes, for them to get up and, like, walk, that's so special, and so easy probably for somebody to be like, oh, that's just a coincidence. There was, this or that. You, like, our logical brains get in there, and they start trying to, like, erase and ruin the magic and the beauty and the kind of the beautiful essence of everything. But
yes, but I do want you guys all to know that you have it within you to feel connected, and I know it. So I don't want you to think that I'm special because I received these signs. Like, everyone can be able to receive them, and I know that for sure.
Why do you think, like, kids are? Oh, I got you. I got you.
I just want to answer some questions.
I'm asking you questions, love.
I know, but maybe the whole point is for them to ask, and we answer, right?
Oh, I didn't know it was a Q&A. Wait, God. Well, here, while I'm finding this next question.
Any plans for another book already? Alex, thank you for asking that. I do. I have this beautiful idea of a trilogy for this book. And I guess I could probably share it. But the first, Are You Here, being the questioning of the little girl, wondering, where is my mom and is she still with me? And then the second book would be the awareness, starting to be aware, right, of all the signs around her. And then the third one would just be the knowingness inside your soul that they are here with you and everything and everywhere. And I already have them written and just need to get them illustrated. But thank you for asking that.
Do you think there will be songs along with those books too?
Oh, and a reminder to hit the shop button on TalkShopLive to order a signed copy.
Oh, you were reading that.
I signed all these with so much love. And so thank you guys for ordering. And I was going to say too, like if you don't personally have grief going on, or you might not want the book, but you have somebody in your life that's going through a challenging moment, I know that anybody that receives this book will hopefully feel the love and be inspired, and maybe a little piece of hope will get instilled in them.
Yes, I totally agree with that. Do you want me to go down? Oh, is there anything that you had to leave out of the book? Kate was asking.
I left that part out of the book from the song that I really loved, that my grandfather had said to me only once. And this was when he was 101 years old. I was on the phone with him. And before he hung up the phone, he said, "Remember, Jenny, I love you longer than long, deeper than deep, and higher than high." And I wrote it down in my notes section. And I was like, this, he always says over and out, or
he was a pilot.
Yeah, he was a pilot. And so he had never said that to me before. And it took me off guard. And so I wrote it down in my notes section. And that is a beautiful part of the song, which I think Travis will be performing at the end of this, which I know, will be beautiful. I was just looking at the time.
Oh, are we good on time? Are we under 5 hours? There we go. Ooh,
Jesse, if you could add one more page to the book, what would it include?
It's tough because you have so many other signs that you've experienced that are probably going to be in book 2 and book 3, but probably what you just said, like your grandfather's message, because it's actually your mom who passed. It's her dad. So it's like very much part of the same family, but
which also he passed away on her birthday last year, which I thought was such a beautiful gift, that my mom was there to receive him, and that he brought her into the world. So it was like this whole beautiful full circle moment. But
yeah, and again, it could be so easy for somebody just to be like, "Oh, that's just a coincidence." But I don't know. Like, there's just, I think maybe that's the hopeless romantic in me. I just choose to believe, and then I know that's what you're saying. Like, it's a choice that we all have to choose to believe, and the beauty that life has to offer, or sometimes we kind of let our pragmatic brains take control of the wheel, and sometimes through that we miss some like the beauty around.
Oh my gosh, yeah, we could miss so many beautiful signs that they're trying to send us, I think.
I had a question. I know that you want to read those questions, but I had a question. Why do you think that kids are most susceptible to seeing the signs? And maybe in the same question, why is it sometimes, or why can it be so hard for adults to maybe see even the same sign?
Oh, because children are so close to God and where they came from. And then we just get really jaded when we start getting older with all the beliefs that our parents had, or the beliefs of everybody around us, and the fear that maybe is instilled in us subconsciously. And so I do believe that children are just so pure and in this awe, like always in awe and in curiosity. And that was one of my words this year, was to stay curious, because that's so childlike. And I think that if we're curious about anything, that it will open our hearts to receiving the signs.
That's so true.
Stay curious and awe-inspired by life, because that's what kids do, and that's what they are.
Yeah, if you've ever seen our kids or come to a show maybe that they've been at, or if you live in Nashville or Orlando where we were living and seeing us, like you would definitely know that our kids are curious. And it is so beautiful for them to just see just a rock on the side of the road. And it's just like, oh, rock. And it's like, they're so excited about life. And like, I know as kids, we all were as well. Right.
Mhm.
And I think
We lose
you
it.
summed it up perfect. You kind of get a little jaded and, but there's so much beauty in the innocence that our kids have taken. I think as parents, I want to try to like keep that,
Mhm.
like, you know, in myself, but also I want them to keep that for as long as possible.
I love that. Me too. Kristen C says, have you talked to your own kids about when you aren't here someday and looking for signs, or will that be a conversation when they're older? Do you think there's a right age for that topic? My kids have told me, I think, what they want to be like, right? Like, I think a butterfly, and we briefly talk about it. We haven't sat down and had a full on, like, this is what's when I leave, this is what I'm going to come
Yeah,
back
but
as. But
yeah, but not about like, yes, not specifically to the question about that Kristen asked. Have we talked about like what signs to look for? And I also don't know if it's like, that's really not something maybe that you like, I guess you could be like, I'm going to be, you know, the
a
really
lot of people, I
beautiful
think, do that before.
wave. But there's also things that are unsaid. Like, you know, if you've had somebody pass and you didn't like have this conversation of like, hey, how will I know that you're still there? Like, I still think there's plenty of beautiful ways to know.
Oh yeah, for
Little,
sure.
maybe it's an inside joke, or maybe it's something that you guys experience together, a shooting star. I don't know what it
Yeah.
is, but
I do think.
but we've had many conversations with our kids about just death in general. And you know, with Jenny's mom and some of the other people that we've grandparents we've had to go to celebration of life. Like, I know some parents don't bring their kids. Yeah, I think in a lot of ways they're trying to protect, or they feel that it's right to protect. But we always bring our kids. We want them to see that part of it. Like, death is something that everybody
Will experience.
will experience at some point in time. And for our kids, at least, they very much know all about death, and through the lens of
Beauty and
spirituality, and also
yes.
like, you know, we'll all be together one day, and which I think is so beautiful. Because even as a parent, I don't know how many people in here are parents, but as a parent, you want so much more time. As a spouse, I want so much more time with Jenny. I want so much more time with my kids. And it's such a beautiful belief system that we have, that we get eternity.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Shelby A, my mom passed on 3/6/2025. I'm sorry, that's so recent. I have purchased this book and am waiting to read it on March 6th with my 10-year-old daughter for the first time. Would you recommend reading it to her or having her read? I think that could be a question you could ask her if she would like to read it. Travis and I were talking about how, this book doesn't have to be like, you don't have to sit down and have this heavy conversation with your children. It can be subconsciously just reading the book and having them subconsciously hear the signs that are being said and the message. And if you feel guided to have that conversation after you read the book, or they have questions, that's when it is a really beautiful way to have the conversation.
Yeah, we've talked a lot about this, and
this isn't a book that's sad. I
No,
want to
no,
say that. I want to make sure everybody knows that it's supposed to be hopeful and uplifting and inspiring, and leave you feeling like that. So I just want you guys to know that when you read this, that is the intention. And so it might make you cry, but I believe that there'll be tears of healing.
Needed tears, healing tears. What I was going to say is that, like, this is, again, I will preface by saying I'm Jenny's #1 fan, but this is a book that you can read so many times and get something different out of each time you read it. And with kids, like, we are very aware that, like, kids open up a book and they don't necessarily go to the words right away. They go to, like, the things that they're seeing. So it might be fun for a kid to just go through and see, like, the illustrations, be like, oh, I found the ladybug on this page, next page, let's, and there's just so many things within it where you could read this 20 times and get 20 different things. But what we love about it is that the message is so beautiful that even if, somebody is reading it and looking at the illustrations, they're kind of like putting together like a toolkit for the future when grief does come, because grief comes for everybody, you know, and
it'll make them have that choice that we said before. You know, it'll probably help them to choose a different choice than maybe they would have.
And again, if you guys do want this book, oh my God, baby, I love you. I got longer arms. I can do this. If you guys do want to get this book, you can comment shop in the chat, I think in the chat, but you can also go to any of our social media accounts and get the book. But if you want it signed by Jenny, that is something specifically through TalkShopLive. So comment shop and you can get it. She took a lot of time. I know that because I was at home watching the kids while she was gone signing. Are you okay, baby?
Yeah. Oh,
I do want to be conscious of everybody's time as well,
because I do want you guys to hear this beautiful song. So I do feel like if you guys are all still watching, which I hope you are, you get to hear Travis's most angelic voice. I'm his biggest fan as well. I tell everybody he has the voice of an angel. So
thank you, baby.
I would love for you guys to leave on a really beautiful note from Travis Clark of We the Kings. Singing "Are You Here?"
Oh, am I doing that now?
I think it's time.
Oh, is it time? Okay, well, while I get ready, I do want to say I genuinely am so grateful for everybody. Time is like, you know, I think it's connected to death in a lot of ways, because it's like the thing, you can't escape death and you can't get more time. So for taking the time to read this book, for taking the time to be with us and to hopefully gain something from this conversation. We just feel so grateful for every single one of you guys and taking the time to do that. I feel very grateful for anybody that's bought the book.
Yes,
it's a lot to ask people. It's a lot to ask people to spend money. But I deeply feel that it's almost like an investment in a lot of ways, and such a beautiful gift that you could give to somebody else if you feel that they're going through kind of a challenging season. So all in all, I just feel so lucky and so grateful for such a beautiful opportunity to share with you guys.
Yes, thank you so much. And I hope you enjoy the song.
Okay. You stay there, my love. I'm just going to move this. If you need to talk. Turn on noise cancellation. Okay. Okay. It might seem like we're talking to ourselves, but we're talking to our team. Okay. Settings in TalkShopLive. Scroll all the way down. I know. Sorry, baby. My mouse. Okay. And then audio settings. Noise cancellation. Click that. It's down just a little bit. This is the funniest part of the talk shop or of the stream. Boom.
Are you sure you have to disable?
Yes, disable. Okay. Oh yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, if anybody is missing somebody, maybe place them in your heart right now before the song.
I love that. Here we go. Dragonflies, they hover by, waiting till I catch their eye. Rainbows form without a storm, showing up now as I mourn. Are you here? Are you here? Are you here? Did you hear my prayer? Are you in everything and everywhere? I am here, I heard your prayer. I am in everything and everywhere. An owl who's up in a tree, reminding me that you are free. See it, dear, just laying still. Then I start to get the chills. Are you here? Are you here? Are you here? Did you hear my prayer? Are you in everything and everywhere? I am here. I heard your prayer. I am in everything and everywhere. Remember, dear, I love you deeper than the deepest deep. Remember, dear, I love you higher than the highest high. Remember, dear, I love you longer than the longest long. Remember, dear, I love you. I love you. I do. Oh. A butterfly lands closely by, and I can't help but start to cry. Bluebird flying in the sky, as I sit and wonder why. Are you here? Are you here? Are you here? Did you hear my prayer? Are you in everything and everywhere? I am here. I heard your prayer. I am in everything and everywhere. I am in everything. I am in everything. I am in everything and everywhere. I am in everything. I am in everything. I am in everything and everywhere. And as the light shines on my face, you begin to fill this space in my heart and all I do. I hope, my love, you feel it too. You are here. You are here. Thank you guys so much.
Yes.
I imagine you're clapping. I hope you're clapping.
Thank you. That was so beautiful, babe.
So I wanted to finish this. Thank you, my love. I wanted to finish this Talk Shop Live. Also thanking the team Talk Shop Live for putting on such an awesome event, for promoting. Thank you very, very much.
Yeah.
Thank you to Sam for helping us out. That was very, very cool. We really appreciate you. What's coming up? What's the future look like for Jenny Robinson Clark?
Oh gosh, I don't know, but I'm excited for it. You can find out more information at jennyrobinsonclark.com for what's to come. We're going to have a release party in Orlando, Florida. If anybody's in Orlando on March 17th, 2026 for the release of Are You Here? And
It's so close. It's like 3 weeks away. It's like it's almost here.
And I think, yes, for me, whoever feels touched by it, if you could leave a review from your heart, if you enjoyed it, that would really be helpful. And the support means the world. So thank you so much.
Yeah. The biggest and best thing that you can do is just share the story.
Mm.
We're not going to pretend that we don't know exactly how the game works. Reviews are huge in this industry. So, leaving kind reviews is obviously awesome, and 5-star reviews, all that stuff. It's part of the game. We understand it.
But it's not part of the game. It's just like, that's the only way that people will hear about it, and be open to receiving it. And so I look at it that way. So I'm very, very grateful for.
Yeah. We've given this so much thought about like where the book would go. We wanted, grieving communities and hospitals and all these places where grief is very evident. And Jenny's expressed like so much interest in just wanting to get the book to those people who are hurting.
If I could give it away for free to all of you guys, I would.
Yeah. So, just sharing the book with anybody is so helpful. And again, I can't thank you enough for the support. So,
yes.
From the bottom of our hearts, thank you. Is there anything else that you want the readers to know other than that it comes out on March 17th and you can comment shop to get a signed copy from Jenny if they're not sold out? Hopefully there's an endless supply, but if you comment shop, you can get it through TalkShopLive, signed from Jenny's heart and from your heart. I don't know why I just touched my heart.
Because our hearts are connected.
Yes.
We are all
Amen.
interconnected.
But yeah, you can find the book everywhere. It comes out March 17th. Thank you so much from the bottom of our hearts. Is there anything that you want your readers? Yeah, is there anything you want the readers to know? Because I cut you off.
No, again, if you love it, go to your local bookstore, because I love supporting indie bookstores, and just let them know about it. And that's the best that you could do. Thank you, guys. Thank you. We're so grateful. We'll see you on the next one.
Let's see if I can remember how to end the show while I do that.
Instagram first, no?
I need a new
mouse.
I need a new mouse. My mouse is stinky. So let's go to Instagram. We're going to end. All right, Instagram.
Peace out, Instagram.
It's been real. Thank you so much.
You.
Maybe Jenny, actually, since the kids are good right now, maybe you'll hang out on one of them and just answer some comments. We didn't get to, there's so many, there's a gajillion. Maybe we can answer some of the comments on the different channels. So I'll say that before I end. Instagram, it's been real. Much love. Boom. Okay. And then Jenny's, we're still here. We're still here. Jenny's Instagram.
The awkward bye.
There we go. It's not awkward. Okay. To Jenny's Instagram. It's been real. Bye. Okay. And then I go here. I want to see other Talk Shop Lives, how they end the show, if they end it really well or just like disheveled like us. You guys are awesome. Are you here? Almost out everywhere. See you soon. Love you.